On this week's digital marketing news, Instagram is hooking up with Giphy, Pinterest is growing like crazy, people prefer hashtags to handles, and who needs sleep when you have social media?
Welcome to the Digital Marketing News. I'm Tiffany Allen.
And with our first story this week, I am Joshua Knight. I have some news for you that you might find Pinteresting. So if you're a fan of clicking a minimum of 4 times just to get to read a recipe so you can make some food for your children, you're not alone. Turns out that Pinterest is growing faster than Snapchat and Twitter. It's growing like what? Like what? Like a very fast thing. Yeah. It has added 50 million users since December, currently growing at about a rate of 25 million every 4 months. Now, in comparison, over the last year, Twitter added 9 million monthly active users and Snapchat added 25 million. So this is still a much smaller market share overall than like your Facebooks, who have a user base in the billions, but it is growing. Most excitedly, I thought people are using Pinterest to shop for products. So 90% say they use the app to make purchase decisions, and 78% said that content from brands is helpful on the platform. So if you are a B2C brand or a B2B brand that can bring your special mojo to Pinterest, this might be a new place to explore. It looks like more people are getting on it. People are enjoying their time. They're consuming content from brands, and they're making purchases. So I say get pinning.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that I just read a story about how much time people spend consuming media, and maybe some of that media time is spent on Pinterest. Probably. If you're me, it is, definitely. I love clicking 4 times on anything. It's great and fun, and I like it. So new forecasts actually show that the amount of time that we spend on media is about 70% of the amount of time we spend awake during the day.
Wow.
Yeah, just in the US, but the rest of the globe is catching up. So a new forecast from Zenith shows that the average American is awake for about 912 minutes a day. We're spending about 636.6 minutes of that consuming media. That's a real thinker.
That does make sense if we're just constantly carrying around these little devices that we want to have on our persons at all times. If we're constantly binging seasons of Parks and Recreation, which I definitely support. But so if people are going to be on media, maybe even social media, maybe we should give them some to look at, I feel like.
Absolutely.
I would actually like to give you something to look at right now. If you would just move Tiffany out of the way, and then I will give you my next story.
Fair enough.
So for my next story, I've got some news that is going to get you hashtag shook if you're hashtag a marketer on hashtag social media. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go and beat myself up for just a minute, and then I'll be back. But anyway, hashtags, it turns out, are way, way, way more effective than handles for your brand when it comes to being mentioned on social media. So there was a report that only studied the fashion industry, but we feel like these results can carry over to whatever industry you're in, that said that people are 91% more likely to use a brand hashtag and interact with a hashtag than a handle. So about 91% said yes to hashtags, 9% said yes to handles. And so people, it seems, would rather join the conversation around your brand than talk directly at it. And that makes a lot of sense. Now, some of the hashtags that have the most success are ones that invite people into that conversation. For example, West Elm had one that was hashtag my West Elm. So people could take a picture of their beautiful, I'm going to say sofa. West Elm, traditionally known for their sofas. And they could say, hey, look at this in my new apartment, hashtag my West Elm. There was another one that was shop my closet. So people could take a picture of their wardrobe and they could say, hey, check out all of my cool clothes, hashtag shop my closet. And these things are inspiring people to have conversations around the brand. It's inviting people in rather than just waiting for them to mention your brand specifically by name. So it seems like the best practice here is to look at coming up with hashtags that do invite people to the conversation, that are unique to your brand, but aren't just your brand name. So use the hashtags as they were meant to, start those conversations, and do whatever Tiffany tells you to do next.
Thanks, Josh. In other news, brands are experimenting with animated stickers on their Instagram stories and snaps. So they're partnering with Giphy to make this happen. So brands like Red Bull and Benefit Cosmetics and Bud Light are testing this out to see what, if any, effect it has on their digital marketing. Instagram's Giphy libraries and Snapchat's Giphy libraries aren't super friendly for brand partnerships because of the way their GIFs show up in the platform. So there's only a certain amount that'll show up for any specific keyword. Brands like Bud Light are finding a workaround with this by using kind of branded keywords like Dilly Dilly or Bud Light, as it were, to be found on those platforms. But other brands may experience some turbulence here if you're looking for something a little bit more popular, like, I don't know, eyebrows maybe? That's a fun one. But it is unclear how this is going to be measured as well in terms of engagement. So brands are testing this out again just to kind of see how this plays in the market, if it does give them any sort of boost in their social profiles, brand awareness, things like that. With 69% of Americans using emojis or GIFs to communicate, there is a large test market for this, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. And now back to us.
Thanks, Tiffany. And for people who have been wanting some TopRank GIFs for their communication purposes, let me just give you a couple real quick. You can capture this out of the YouTube video. Ready?
You make that
Got
GIF
him?
at me all the time.
Yeah, I do it in real life, but I can't just go around to everybody's home and do that. We can't just visit everyone that we want our message to get to. That's why we rely on a little something that I like to call content marketing.
Go on.
Content marketing, which makes me think, of course, of Content Marketing World. CM World 2018 is coming soon. They have a really cool retro gaming aesthetic going on this year that makes me happy as an aging nerd. But we have released, to help with this in conjunction with the Content Marketing Institute, a little thing that I like to call the Ultimate Guide to Conquering Content Marketing, which you can find on the TopRank blog. And this is aimed at helping people get a little bit better with their content marketing because based on the latest benchmarks, we need all the help we can get.
Yeah, in fact, nearly 1 out of 4 B2C content marketers, so about 22%, rated their organization's overall content marketing approach as minimally successful or not at all successful.
That's very sad. What's even more sad is more than half of them said it's increasingly difficult to get their audience's attention in a crowded content market, because that's what we got.
It's true, and only 36% of B2C content marketers rated project management flow during their content creation processes as excellent or good.
Yeah, and marketers have a lot in common with a lot of SoundCloud rappers in that we don't have a good flow.
Fair enough.
That's right, I'm putting you on blast. But this is a problem. You know, nearly half of people say they're not even measuring the ROI of their content marketing, which means we're not being strategic. So we did what we do best. We got the best and brightest folks who are speaking at Content Marketing World to contribute their thoughts to this asset that we have on our blog and is also available on the slide share. Do you have a highlight from that asset that you would like to share with us?
I do. So one of my favorite things that we've been talking about in terms of opportunities for content marketing is that we spend this time creating this awesome content and then we don't spend nearly as much time or enough time trying to promote it and trying to get amplification and reach and engagement. So my favorite quote was from Lee Odin, our CEO.
Smart guy.
Yeah, very smart guy.
Handsome.
He said that the content creation/promotion imbalance is a big problem for marketers trying to win the content marketing game. Balanced creation and promotion boosts message credibility, reach, and engagement.
That makes sense to me. One of my favorite quotes, of course, Lee's was my favorite as well. But one of mine comes from Ellie Merman, who's the CEO of Crayon, which is super exciting. But it's about being strategic and actually creating your content, like making sure that it fits a demand. And she said, understand where the white space exists in your industry to create content that stands out in an otherwise crowded marketing landscape, which, given that she works for Crayon, I feel is on brand, filling in white space, I might say. Another one that I really liked was Dave Charest, who's the director of content marketing for Constant Contact, a small boutique marketing company you might have heard of, said, level up your approach by creating content in partnership with members of your target audience. So definitely check out this asset. I want to real quick read the rest of the names of the people who are in here because it's a fantastic list. We've got Robert Rose, Nicole Kelly, Tim Washer, we got Ellie Merman, as I mentioned, Peter Krampotic, Tamsin Webster, Amanda Todorovich, Courtney Cox, not that one, Eli Schwartz, Jay Akunzo, Carla Johnson, Heather Pemberton Levy, Zari Venhouse, Andy Crestadina, Ann Handley, my very favorite, my Patronus, Ann Handley, Melanie Desiel, JP Medved, Mitch Joel, Michelle Park Lizette, Pam Dittner, Dave Terest, Ian Cleary, Lee Odin, Vishal Khanna, Junte Delane, Doug Kessler, Joe Polizzi, Justin Levy, Heidi Cohen, Christopher Penn, Chris Penn, brilliant dude, Matthew Sweezy, Michael Brenner, Michael Pratt, Ron Tite, and Matt Hines.
Holy buckets, that's a big list.
So that's a whole lot of marketing smarts in one thing, so please do check that out.
Yep, and you can find that again on TopRank blog at toprankblog.com. Otherwise, I'm sure you'll find it on Twitter at TopRank, or you can follow me as I'll be sharing it at Tiffany_Allen.
Yep, and you can find that and so much more from me on Twitter at Nitewrites. That's NITEWRITES.
And if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring the notification bell so that you get notified when new amazing videos come to you.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Bye.